us out with the live stream. Hi everybody. Phoebe just jumped up on my lap. She wanted to be a part of our live stream today. Hi everybody. I'm going to wait a little bit for some people to file in. I just wanted to start off by saying Happy New Year. I was realizing when I was posting on social media, letting everybody know that it was our last live stream of 2018, that there might be some people in the world who it's already 2019 for, which is wild to think about, and expand that thought and not just think, okay, where am I at currently? And of course, it's not 2019 yet, but hi, you're awfully needy right now, cutie. For anybody who doesn't know, this is Phoebe. This is my little fur baby. She's my little familiar and I love her. She's really needy right now. So I am pulling up my notes right now. We're finishing The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin, but we're also just gonna hang out and talk about some things from 2018, where we want to go for 2019. Some goals, some possible book selections. Hi! Wow! You are so needy. You're so cute. What is the matter? Huh? What's the matter? Are you okay? She's like just so interested in me. I have some coffee. I was up really late last night. Let me pull this up on my laptop because by now there are some peeps that would be rolling in and I do not see. I don't know if this is working. So, but last night I was up really late. Okay, it is working. Nobody just is coming to hang out with me today. That's okay. But I was up really late last night, and I have been staying up really late for the past few days because I'm off for work. I was off between Christmas Eve and here we go. Now we got some people coming in and I was like, what's happening? So I was off between Christmas Eve and I will be off. I think I'm supposed to technically go back to work tomorrow, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go back Wednesday. And so I've been doing some leisuring, you guys, like some proper leisuring. Let me lower the camera so that we can see Miss Phoebe's here. It might get shaky. Sorry, guys. All right. Hey, what's going on? Okay. Oh, and now she's laying down. So, yay! 2018 was a crazy year. So much growth, so much learning, so many good things happened in 2018 personally for me, and I don't know why, but my dog is so super needy right now. You're so Phoebe's. So for the people who are joining us here, how was your 2018? Did you have some ups and downs? Or if you're watching the playback of this, how did your 2018 wrap up and feel? For me, it was a year of a lot of traveling. It was a year of hard work and steady pace, but things paying off. So I wouldn't say that anything extremely crazy happened in 2018, which is great because neither bad nor good. It was very like even keeled, and you know, when something happened, is an event happened or an experience happened, we like came and you know and handled it as it happened. Hi Rebecca, how are you today? Rebecca, I sent you the package that we talked about a day or two ago. I forgot to send you the tracking and you just reminded me in the comments. So it's on its way to you and I hope that you enjoy it. But so you guys, listen, 2019, I'm a bit hesitant to enter into, and I think a lot of people are the opposite way, as like maybe they experienced not the greatest 2018, so they're like real ready for 2019. Hi Miller Nature, it has been a while and I'm really excited to kind of kick off 2018 with this live stream and to hang out with you guys and to see what's going on and all of that. So Rebecca, I am really good. I just I'm I'm leisuring. I'm allowing myself time off. I'm allowing, well, not really. I am and I'm not. I'm preparing myself for time off, if that makes sense. So, in between Christmas Eve and today, I have really been trying to minimally be on social media. I have been really allowing myself, if I want to, just lay and read a book, or if I want to do a puzzle, like in my mind, detach from the guilt of feeling like I have to do other things because I have other things I could be doing or should be doing or whatever, which is not normally how it goes to me. I'm normally like very anxious, and I'm normally very like multitasking and here and there and there, and I feel like I've done a really good job in between Christmas and New Year to just kind of leisure, and I have been getting a lot done. So I am participating in Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot, and if you haven't heard what that is, one of the content creators in the tarot community here on YouTube, she puts out 31 prompts for every day in January, and you make a video response or some sort of post, answering the question. And I've been prepping and filming a ton of videos and editing them and spending a whole ton of work on them. So there will be a video coming out every single day for January. And so even though I've been leisuring, I have been working, but it's to set myself up so that like January is very chill, quote unquote, because all the work is done for me, if that makes sense. I'm really excited. I feel really bad because Ethany just posted a video saying that she is going through a really difficult time, and she won't even be able to participate in her own tag and her own like challenge. But don't worry, Ethany, if you watch this for some odd reason, I got you. I'll hold down the fort. I will make sure. I've been spending a lot of time and effort on these, and I think that these prompts are great because it's questions that I get like a lot. So making these videos is a ton of work, but in the end, it's kind of a good payoff for me, because if somebody asks me a question, I can just kind of send them the link and not trying to disconnect, but it's hard to keep up with people. So it's easy because I'm answering their questions and giving them a resource so they can go and look. So hello everybody filing in. Happy New Year's Eve if you're still in 2019 or 2018. I was realizing that some people might already be in 2019, and that's really crazy. My mind is like, it's like somebody might be in the next year already, and that's kind of weird. I'm going to try and do 31 Days of Tarot too. I did it last year. It was a great experience. It's a really good opportunity for people to connect, for people to find other channels, to see what other people's opinions on tarot are or what decks that they use. And so it's really, I have a good time with it, and it's a good opportunity. So I definitely am participating. All right, so now that we have some peeps filing in, okay, so just so you know, for anyone who just came in, my Phoebe is laying on my lap because she's super, super needy this morning, and I don't know what happened. Like, as soon as I was about to press play, she had her, like, face in my face. Alter ego, I'm so shy when it comes to videos. A lot of people feel that way, so you could always do, like, Instagram posts, or you could always do the camera to where it's not on your face, to where you put it so that it's like on your hands and you can be showing decks, or you can be answering questions, stuff like that. So that's always an option. Yeah, or you could always follow like my videos and comment down below your answers or opinions to the questions. Like, you can find other YouTubers and stuff that are posting videos and like that, but I don't know many other people who are going to be doing 31 Days of Tarot. But I'm like rearing and ready to go, so it's fine. I'm ready. Okay, so I have a sale going on that I'm announcing here for the first time on my website. It's going to be lasting for a week. I do still have one client to film today. And then I will be caught up with readings. So I'm really, really excited about that, but I'm like itching to get more readings. So I have a year ahead spread reading to film for a client today. I'm really excited about. But I wanted to let you guys know that I am going to be doing a sale for the next week. It's like a New Year's Eve sale. If you've been thinking or wanting a reading from somebody, or you've been fancying looks at my readings and thought maybe it was too pricey for you at that time, or like you weren't sure if it was going to be like the right time with Christmas and everything, for the next week, I'm doing a sale for 18% off of my readings, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is for the time and the energy I put in. My video readings tend to be very long and extensive. So if you're someone that's looking for like a quick little reading, my readings don't normally go under like a half hour. Depending on which one you get. So if you want like a really good extensive reading, whether you want my astrology association tarot reading, or my chakra alignment reading, or my spirit connection reading, or my grandma go-to reading, or you want me to do your year ahead spread reading, if you use the code NYE 2018, and I'll link it down below after this goes live, but it's NYE 2018, until January 7th, you can get 18% off of the readings in my shop. So that's my little promo that I wanted to get out of the way, and I'll promo it again at the end. But also just, you know, so I'm already in promo mode, but just so you guys know that I keep this on, if you're new to this live stream or you found us through Facebook, there's been so many people that have been finding the Facebook group, because Facebook is kind of, suggesting the Witchy Facebook group to people. And it's so cool because, you know, up until now, it's just been people that have been stumbling on my channel, but now people are finding us through the Facebook group, which if you're not already a member, it's so fun in there. And we make a lot of our decisions and conversations continue in the group. So it's facebook.com/groups/Witchy Book Club. And you just answer 3 little questions so I know you're not a troll and I can get you in. And we all just kind of hang out and post things. It's really fun in there. But I'm able to keep this live stream on a free platform with like minimal advertisements and whatnot. Some people, even if you have YouTube Red, don't have to even deal with that. But I don't want at this point to have to move it to like Patreon or to put it somewhere where people have to pay for the experience. The fun of this is being able to have anybody come and find us and join or watch a video or hang out and have conversations. But it's a lot of time and energy that I put towards this. And if you fancy to contribute at any time to Witchy Book Club, there's the super chat option, or my PayPal's down below. Or even just like sharing the live stream on a different platform is helping. So that's my little promo in the beginning. Everybody, don't be mad. Just be proud that I'm promoting things. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive through. I don't actually want to talk too long on the Happiness Project because the last few chapters for me, were nice. She wrapped it up really nice, but there isn't a lot of in-depth things, and I kind of just want to talk to you guys a lot about, you know, your intentions and your goals and your resolutions and where you want this Witchy Book Club to go in 2019. So let me just say good morning, Linda. Hi, the Witch of Wands. Hello, everybody. Okay, so the last 3 chapters that we had for the Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin was October, November, and December, or 10, 11, 12. And October was all about her paying attention and mindfulness. And while a lot of people, including myself, don't really feel very connected to the author, I think that she did kind of spark a little bit of inspiration in me to kind of take a look at the way in which I'm mindful, mostly with my wording and my words, or the way that my body language is. And for example, she was talking about, you know, just like her interacting with people and her husband and her kids, and like the way she was wording certain things, where it could have been nicer, or she could have got the same point across, but without, you know, being critical. Or hi the Witch of Wands, hubby. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. So there was a situation in which George George is making me so irritated because he's started this weird new habit that I literally want to stab him for. And like he will get ready in the morning to go to work. Hi Phoebe, it's okay. I'm literally right here. It's okay. You're on top of me. It's okay. He will sit down at the counter and have a bowl of cereal and then go, it's okay. What is wrong with you? And then he will go get up and get his coat on and literally leave. And like his bowl of cereal is sitting on the counter, like right where he left it, and it's so irritating because the sink is like right there. And I've been kind of trying to tell him and nag him in certain ways, thinking, oh, what did you say? I'm so distracted. This is like Gemini at her finest right now. Rebecca said, I just booked a reading. Yay! My Christmas birthday gift to myself. I can't wait. Rebecca, I can't wait to read for you. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for purchasing. I love connecting to the cards and I loved connecting with you. So I can't wait to do your reading. Thank you so much. I'm really, really excited. Yay! So anyways, we're just talking about using our words in a different way than we could have. And I was so angry when he did it again because I've told him a few times, like, listen, get it together, okay? Just like reach your long arms over, put it in the sink, rinse it out so that you don't have like milk in the bottom of a bowl on the counter for hours on end until I find it and pick it up. But I just got so mad the other day and I literally was like stomping my feet and like throwing the bowl in the sink, like, ah! And then I went and I read the October section and I thought, you know, that's literally not going to make him want to pick up after himself. It's just making me look bad. It's not getting my point across. And in fact, if I were him, I would probably want to leave my bowl out even more for being nagged at. You know, she talks a lot throughout the whole book about being nagging and trying to get her point across or get her needs met, but in a positive or more, you know, proactive kind of way. And I think that you can have an intention in something and go about it 500 different ways, but the one that's going to feel best for you is not going to normally come from a place of anger like it did for me. But I don't know if you guys do like a word of the year. I know a lot of people do. And like last year I remember watching or listening to people's posts or, you know, throughout the year them updating on the word of the year and how they're connecting to it. I've never been someone that did a word of the year, but I felt, oh, thank you for putting your butt in my face, babes. Are you done with me? Okay, goodbye. No, you're gonna knock that over. You need to get down. Come on, get down. Sorry, guys. Get down. No, get down. Thank you. I've never been someone that's really participated in the word of the year or done that, but this year I felt really called to do that, and I've not done like a generator, like word generator. I mean, Skylar and I were joking, and like kind of going online and doing the word generator, but I've picked a word that I feel like I want to incorporate in 2019, and my word is intention. And I feel like this is a word that I use a lot. It's a word that I feel I know, but that's I'm not fully invested in a lot of the times. So I throw this word around or I talk a lot about intention, but from my day-to-day tasks or choices or experiences, I'm not living as intentionally as I could be. And that's been really apparent in the last week for me by taking some leisure time, some self-care time. It's been really eye-opening that when I take a second to kind of slow down and really focus on why am I doing something instead of like, let's just do this, this is great. Because that's very me. Like, let's just start new things. Let's do this. Let's do that. I can tend to stick from task to task and thought to thought without stopping. And when I take mindfulness and like micro zoom into it, into the practice of everything, it makes more sense to me. And so I want to live, and I don't care how cliche this sounds, but I want to actually live it. But I want to live the most intentional 2019 as possible. And I still want to have fun and be spontaneous and to experience things from, a fun and, flowing mindset and energy. But if I do, I still want to know what that intention of those decisions are, when it comes to purchases, when it comes to, client work or business work, when it comes to eating, when it comes to relationships. Like, I just want to be very intentional, and if I'm going to do something, put my whole heart into it, because a lot of the times I'm like one toe in, one toe out kind of thing. So that's that. I don't know if you guys do a word of the year. If you're watching the playback of this, let me know what it is for 2019 if you have one, or if you're thinking about one now. What's your word? What are you going to choose? Oh, my foot's falling asleep. So Rebecca said, nagging is just a word we use when women are forced to endure the boundary or ask for a need to be met over and over again. When men do it, it's just called asking. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, how come nagging is not a real word that goes with men ever? Yeah, that's super, super interesting, Rebecca. My words, let go. Nice. Love that. My word for 2019 is growth. I love that too. Okay, so did you guys pick your words just like because you wanted to pick that word? Or is it something that, you did the word generator, or did somebody else give you your word in a reading? Heather, are you a Sagittarius? I can't remember. I think you're Sagittarius, right? I'm just thinking of your word growth. So okay, so Heather, I want you to look into the properties if you want to. You don't have to. But if your word is growth and that's what I thought, you're very fire. Sagittarius and is associated with the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about expansion and abundance and growth. And I know that we went over Sagittarius for our astrology portion of Witchy Book Club. So maybe if your word is growth, it's a very Sagittarius word to pick, and I love that for you. But go back and watch the Sagittarius section of the Witchy Book Club live stream, and then also look up and maybe really be invested in the planet that rules your sun, which is Jupiter, and all about expansion and growth and opportunities and long distance travels and all that good stuff. So that would be something I suggest looking into if that's your word, love, because that is really, really cool and definitely a very Sag thing to choose. Alter Ego says her word is, I can't really see, I don't know if I can't see your icon. I'm not going to assume you're a girl. Sorry. My word is surrender. My word is base and basic. Oh, I love that, Witch of Wands. Base and basic. So a lot of the reason why I'm picking intention as well is because I have been really struggling lately with a lot of aspects of things, mainly with my overcomplicating certain things. In 2019, my intention is going to be about bringing it back to basics. So going back to the root of things, really not needing to overcomplicate it. Like, if I was doing the same thing when I was 7 or 8, how would I approach it? So a lot of inner child work, but mostly just like coming back to like, if I just had to do bare minimum, or like I didn't have these resources and I really needed to like experience all of this in the same way, like how can I use my same intentions and get what I need accomplished that way? I just picked mine as it is what I need to practice. My word for 2019 is self, because I'm focusing on myself and my health and healing for the first time, putting me first after my child rather than everyone else first. Love that. And Gemma says that her word is wisdom. I love this. I've never done a word of the year, so I am putting out the first video of 31 Days of Tarot tomorrow. And spoiler alert, it's my general 2019 reading for myself. I throw 5 cards in the video, 4 tarot and 1 oracle, and my main overall energy from last year was the temperance card, and I thought that it was very fitting. It was a very temperance year. I learned a lot of things, and I struggled a lot with temperance. And so I'm still moving into 2019 with like a positive spin on the temperance, but I do feel like there was a lot there. And if you like work it out mathematically, my year is supposed to be the Hanged Man for 2019, and I will keep that in mind. But I really liked focusing my year card on that overall card I threw at the beginning of the year for myself, which was the Temperance. And this year, spoiler alert for the video, it's the Page of Cups, which I really love. So my card of the year for myself that I'm, kind of qualifying is the Page of Cups. And I talk more about that in the video of like my feelings on that, what I think that could kind of entail, and my goals with the Page of Cups and moving forward with it. But yeah, so if you guys do a card of the year, so my word is intention and my card is the Page of Cups, and then I throw some other cards too. So if you're interested in watching that, it's coming out tomorrow. Yes, I'm going to declutter all and try to live with just the days I really need. No more emo buying. So yeah, let's talk about, I'm not even gonna really talk about Happiness Project. We'll come back to it if we are on the topic, but I'm just too all over the place right now. So, and a lot of the stuff that she recaps on at the end of the book is all going to kind of all kind of wrap into the same types of topics. So for December, it was like she, is basically, if we're going to wrap up the Happiness Project, in December, the last chapter, it's basically she's trying to say, is she happier? Yes, she thinks that she's happier. Can she prove that? No, but she thinks that she's more mindful. She thinks she knows herself better, that she's been able to connect with her family better and her friends, and really recognize in herself what she loves the most. And that if she thinks she's happier, she is. And I think that there's actually really a lot to get from that, and also a lot of very negative things to take away from that, because it's not always that easy. And I do recognize that, but I don't really want to get into that today. The most effective thing for her was to keep a resolutions chart and follow through. So with all of this talk of the word of the year and, the card of the year, if you do tarot, all of that stuff is, for me, I agree with keeping a resolutions chart. If I don't hold myself accountable or have somebody else help me hold myself accountable, I will just kind of sweep it under the rug and forget about it. So my bullet journal is very influential to me to getting my needs met. And because my word of the year is intention, my bullet journal every month is going to have the previous month, I'm going to have a page and write down, my intentions and my goals that I will meet for the next month. And that's not something I've typically done. And I'm definitely going to be doing that and having my intentions in the beginning of the month all laid out with little check boxes, so that if I accomplish something or I feel like I'm on the right track, I can keep myself accountable for them. So what are some ways in which you are going to interact with your word of the year or your card of the year or your goals for 2019? What are some things that you have in place to ensure that you move forward in the right direction with that, or that you're really sticking to what you have? And what I did my word of 2019 is live and bravery. Those are fun. Bravery is great. She talks about too goals versus resolutions and the difference between using those words, because a goal is something that you hit and then you stop. So my goal is to X, Y, and Z, and then you hit your goal and then the goal is done. But your resolution is something that is forever changing and forever established in a situation. So if you're saying my resolution for 2019 is to live a more intentional life, that's something that is just constantly going. You say, my goal is to, you know, lose X amount of pounds or put on X amount of pounds or to read X amount of books or to whatever that is. That's a goal that's that you can hit and that, you know, it can be over with. So I thought that was kind of interesting too, the different wording, because I think a lot of people think the same, like, goal and resolution is the same sort of thing. But I think resolution or, you know, intention holds a much heavier weight. So what are you guys planning on doing to hold yourself accountable to these certain things? Let's talk a bit. But if your goal is to live a more intentional life, it's still ongoing. Yeah, I agree. I think when people typically use the words, though, so obviously you can kind of change it and morph it how you need to with certain sentences, but I think she's talking more so around like the new year, and because this chapter is in December where she brings this up, and so she's bringing up a lot of like these like New Year's resolutions and New Year's goals and my goals for 2019. I think she's saying typically when people use these words, they mean it as like my goal is to hit or my resolution is to do. Like that's normally the way that they use it. It doesn't always have to mean that, but I get what you're saying for sure. What did you say? The Witch of Wands says, my resolution is to make my goals into resolutions. I love that. Yeah, you know, I'm not normally somebody who sets resolutions or, you know, I get into the New Year's Eve bug, but I don't normally, like, set concrete things for myself. But I think that's part of my issue with some things is, like, I'm like, oh, it'll be fine, and then I need to be more intentional with what I'm doing. Whether it's, like, goal setting or just at least, like, trying to realize what it is I'm trying to achieve and not just, like, scattering my energy. Mystic Rain, what's up? How are you? I just watched your Gemini video. You're adorable. So, okay. Let's talk about, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. Yep, you could set resolutions any time, but I was thinking about this before I did the live stream. I think that I really like New Year's because, or any sort of holiday or any sort of thing where people recognize as it's together. So New Year's or any of the Sabbats or, you know, even 4th of July or whatever it is. I like holidays because they bring back a sense of community, because everyone's talking about it or joking about it or in that energy of that. Even if you don't celebrate certain things, it's still happening around you and you're kind of influenced by it or you're brought into the mindset of it. And I like New Year's Eve because it brings back a sense of community. And I feel as though no matter what, whether you set goals, whether you set resolutions, whether you go out and party, whether you stay in bed and read a book, there's still this awareness and connection between, you know, this event or this holiday happening, and it brings people together, or, you know, it connects people whether they like it or not. You can't open up a social media platform without seeing something New Year's Eve, or, you know, when you're going to the, you know, store to maybe pick up some toilet paper, you're gonna see somebody coming out possibly with, you know, napkins and plates, and you think, well, they might be hosting for New Year's Eve. That even on that level and that mindset, it brings like a sense of community. We all have this awareness and focus on this thing. And so whether or not you like to set resolutions, whether or not you get into like the whole it's a new fresh start mindset, because a lot of people think, well, why does it have to be New Year's? Why can't I just start and make goals at any time? And that's totally, I've been there. Most of the time I am there. I get it. I do like it because it brings us back together, and it brings, like, I just like holidays because it's like we all connect. We all come come to a certain mindset, whether we're coming from one area or the other, we have this awareness of this time. Well, let's talk a bit, because I've gotten some questions on this, about the depth year. I know that it's very interesting because I kind of was already in my mindset going to have what people are calling a depth year, but I just wasn't calling it that, and I didn't really know that it was called something. And now everybody's making videos about it, and it's super interesting to watch. I just watched Kellyanne Maddox's depth year video. I started making my changes during solstice. Love that. So what kind of changes are you making? If you want to share with us, Rebecca. So, depth year. If you guys don't know what depth year is, it's, well, you could go like a width or, like expansive or minimalistic mindset on the depth year. And a lot of people are coming from the standpoint of like the minimalistic. Basically dive deeper into the things that you already have, journey into the situations and experiences that are already right in front of you, whether that's books, whether that's tarot decks, whether that's clothes, whether that's, you know, things within your home, things within your home. And I think a lot of people are coming from this mindset because there is a huge, and I'm definitely one of the people that are a part of this. There's this huge energy around consumerism and buying in the spiritual community. And I think unboxing videos are a part of that. And while I love a good unboxing video, because if you're thinking about actually incorporating something in your practice, it's nice to be able to see what that is that you're looking for. So I love doing unboxings and walkthroughs and first impressions of like tarot decks on my channel. But I would say the amount of unboxing videos that I have on my channel, maybe 10%, I'm the one buying the deck. And I'm super, super grateful, and I'm so aware of how blessed I am to be able to have that be the percentage, that a lot of people are, you know, sending me things to unbox or wanting me to review their things on my channel, and I love that. But it does, from an outside perspective, make it seem like you need to have all of these things to either be successful or to have, you know, you need all of these decks, or you need all these books, and that's just not the case. And I think a lot of people are feeling in 2018 the overwhelming amount of pressure or want or need to just get everything and buy everything. And I think there's a huge movement and push through the minimalism community, and people are wanting to grasp onto that. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling weighted down by stuff and shit and not being able to focus, which is where my word intention comes. If I'm going to be, I am not per se going to be doing like a no buy depth of the year thing like that, but if I'm going to be purchasing something, it has to come from really good intention. So that's kind of what my depth of the year plan was. Like, I am going to be very much more intentional about how I'm spending my money, what kind of foods I'm putting into my body, the decisions that I'm making, whether I really want to do something or I'm doing it because I feel like I have to do something. The content on my channel, I really want to be intentional. I don't want to feel like I have to put a video out every single week just to put a video out. If that's not where I'm at, I'd rather wait 2 weeks and make a very good video that's intentional, that I feel moves me. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with the depth year. I don't really buy a ton of decks. I don't really buy, I'd say I buy a lot of books, but they're normally on Audible, and I get credits, X amount of credits every month, and, you know, my boyfriend and I pay for the credits, and we use all of the books. So it's not like I'm buying things and I don't use them. My consumerism is actually from a very low end. We've talked about this in the last Happiness Project live stream, where I come from like a underbuyer perspective, where like I will wait until all my underwear has holes in it and finally go, do I need it though? Like I'm someone that could use, you know, to kind of open up and expand what I purchase, but I want it to come from a very intentional place. Rant sort of ended. Let me go back to the comments. Which of one says midwinter and the 12 nights after that I make my plan for the next year. That's cool. Midwinter and the 12 nights. Oh gosh, 12 nights after I make my plan for the next year. I totally changed my diet to intentional eating, began a new healing regimen, set boundaries with my family, got my husband to agree to make changes with me, and decided to make it the year of self. Which of one says I'm going to bring my books and decks back to 15 Dutch and 15 English ones. Oh, that's a cool goal to have. Heather says I got a bullet journal for Christmas and made a list of 2019 intentions. It's a less this and more that kind of list. Hold on to less, let go of more is one of them. Yeah, and so I think that a lot of people are realizing that they have too much stuff, that they were raised by people with let me take you on a little thought. At least for a lot of people in the US, this might not be the case for a lot of people around the world. Our parents were raised by parents from, give or take, you know, we're all coming from different ages and different walks of life, but let's kind of put it in your perspective. You know, not too long ago, there was the depression and, you know, recession of things. My grandfather and his brothers and sisters struggled a lot, didn't have things because they were going through very troubled times. There was limited resources on certain things. So within that, they became in I don't know how I'm trying to explain this. There was a lot within them that felt the need to hold on to or to hoard certain things when they got it, because this mindset of being a child or growing up in a time where you didn't have enough or you weren't allowed to have certain things because it wasn't readily available for you. So within that, I can see the hoarding tendencies within my family and where that came from. My great aunt and my great uncle, we tried to help them move out of the home that they grew up in. And my grandpa had 11 brothers and sisters, a very, very traditional first generation Italian home. But my great grandfather and great grandmother were straight from Italy, and they went through that whole period of time. And so my great uncle and great aunt, who were brother and sister, they never moved out of the house. They lived there their entire lives except for the last few years. We finally moved them into a condo, so we're moving them out. We're in the basement, and we go into the basement, and there is shelves and shelves and shelves of pasta sauce, of toilet paper, of you know, water bottles, and they weren't stocking up because it was like, oh, what if an earthquake or, you know, some sort of natural disaster. Like, this was their mindset of like, I'm at the store, I must get this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it again. It's this like hold on to things mindset that they had to experience when they didn't have things, and so that it went from one side to the other. And so they raised children and they raised children, and it's been passed down. My father, I've talked about, was and is a hoarder, and it was very difficult growing up. Like, you would open up our garage and it was like you couldn't walk into it. Same with my great uncle. And so I think that where I'm going with this is that a lot of us are waking up to the fact that that's not healthy living. For the most part, everyone's different, but I think for a lot of people, They just kind of were raised with like, oh, we're at Costco, we might as well get 15 toothbrushes because it's going to be cheaper in the long haul. Like, that's the sort of consumerism mindset that we've been raised with. It was definitely the case for me, knowing that like my dad was raised by a family that had those tendencies, and that's what he thought was okay, and that's kind of what, you know, where he's at with his mindset, and if that works for him, great. But for me, it was almost like the veil is being taken off from my eyes when this like minimalism movement came about, or I learned about what minimalism was. And while I'm not like, you know, diving in face deep to pure minimalism, I think the idea of like purging or thinking about like, why did I buy that? Did I need that? That's definitely something that is happening right now for people. And with the new year, it's just an opportunity for people to go, okay, let's make some goals, let's make some resolutions. And what are the things that weren't working? And it's a lot of the times people feeling like they have too much stuff, or that they bought things or they did things because they thought that they had to, or they thought they wanted it, and then they looked back and went like, I didn't even use that. And a lot of it for me is coming from the way we were raised, in thinking that it's better to just get all this stuff. When my grandpa passed away, my grandma moved in with my family. We helped go through their home and pack stuff away. We found coffee cans hiding in bizarre places that had hundreds of dollars in them. I think we found a little over 1,000, gave it all to grandma, and she laughed about it. Yeah, I mean, it's not about blaming, too. I'm not trying to sit here and blame, you know, my great aunt and uncle for all of these hoarding tendencies that's been passed down within my family. But I think it's interesting to take a look at, like, where did this mindset start with me? Why do I feel like when I go to a bookstore, I have to get 4 or 5 books at once? Like, where does this come from? To where I've become so detached from the things in my home that I already have, or the decisions around buying, or not even spending money, but like intentional eating, which is a whole other ballgame for me. What are the patterns of where you came from? What are the patterns that you'd like to adopt for yourself moving forward that maybe go against what you naturally have? And I've talked a bit about binge eating for myself, and I'm in a really, really, really bad place right now with it. And I'm just going to be totally honest, like, I've been struggling a whole ton. And it's time, I think, that I'm going to get, like, professional help for it at this point. So that's something that I'm looking for, but just even thinking about breaking it down, just dissociating myself and my binge eating problems from it. With eating, there is this mindset about this joke, right? About like, oh man, I could smash a whole pizza, or I could eat a whole pizza. Let's stay in and eat a whole tub of ice cream. And it's like funny, where it's sought after to like be able to eat a lot and basically harm your body, to be able to overeat, or even holidays. Like, why has this become something that is funny or sought after? Why can't we just eat intentionally and the amounts that make us feel good and not excessive? But I'm getting real off topic and rambly there. But I think, hi Yurikiki, how are you? I think with the depth year, bringing it back to where we started here, I think it's really great. I'm basically going to be doing the depth year. I just probably am not going to be calling it that, maybe. I don't know. I can, but I'm not going to be like making videos about it or anything like that. But basically, that's where my word of the year came from, is wanting to live more intentional and more deep into the things that I have, or the decisions that I'm making that are already here for me. I definitely want to purge. I definitely want to clean and get rid of. I've already started doing that within the last month or two. I do not want to hold on to books that I'm not going to read again. I do not want to hold on to decks that I don't think I'm going to use. I don't care if I could trade them. I don't care if I could sell them. I don't care. Like, I want them to go to people who I feel like will use them. I want people to have the things that they want, or that might be good for them if it's not going to be good for me. So I'm not going to be holding on to shit. I'm really not. I have to go now. New Year's Eve dinner. We'll watch the replay. Wishing you all a fabulous year, change, and wonderful 2019. Bye! I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve and night, and we'll see you soon. So, with that, does anybody here going to be doing a depth year, or, you know, have you, like, really adopted that as, like, the name and that's what you're doing? Have you seen the videos going around? What are your thoughts? Anything like that, because I've been getting like a ton of questions, and then even in the bullet journal live stream that I did the other day, like I was asked a few times about the depth year. I'm just pulling this open real quick here. Okay, making sure we're all good. Oh, this is like frozen. Anyways, let's talk about books, if no one wants to keep talking about the depth year. Now, oh, my freaking computer is frozen. I really need this to work here. Excuse me, what is the depth year? Sorry, I just joined. Yuri Kiki, we were talking about the depth year, which is basically like, there's a couple different ways that you could approach the depth year, but most of the ways that I've seen people do this is in a more like a minimalistic standpoint. So you could be like an expansive or, you know, minimalistic, and it's basically about diving in deep to the tools that you already have, either decks or books or clothes or things or situations that you already have, and kind of like not so much wanting to like go out in search of new or learn new. It's more about diving in deep to what you already know and becoming more familiar and more invested in the things that you already have. Basically, it's coming from like a minimalistic standpoint, or, you know, a lot of people are adopting like the no buy, so they're not going to buy anything, either new decks, new clothes, whatever these situations in which you think that you need, you know, a little bit of change. Yeah, it is. There's some really great videos that have been put out. The one that I most recently watched was Kellyanne Maddox's, and I think that she covers a lot of the question marks about the depth year. So if you know Kellyanne Maddox, which if you don't, get on that. I'm pretty sure you probably will. But you can check out her video, and I know that I think Jessica the Story Witch might have been the first one to do it. I'm not sure, but there's some videos out there. Just search like depth year. People are making videos about it. Okay, so my computer is absolutely frozen. Cool. No problem. It's nice to see you again. Okay, so talking about books for 2019. Now, I posted like a little video. Oh, sorry, my foot's falling asleep again. I posted a little video in the Facebook group, and for anybody who just joined in and is not a part of the Facebook group, I'm going to plug that again because it's a really great, it doesn't really help me as much. It's for us. It's a place for us to be able to connect and to share our opinions and to talk more about the discussions of the books that we're going through, or to kind of help pick the books that we're going to do. And I put up a little video in the Facebook group saying that I am like needing to step back for a second. So there's not going to be any book in January that we're going to be going over because of the fact that I'm doing the 31 days of tarot. And I will probably be doing live streams still on Monday if I can. But there's going to be no book. I feel like we just kind of need to get the ball rolling in 2019, get our shit straight, kind of, you know, relax after the hustle and bustle of the holidays if you celebrate the holidays, and just kind of take a step back and then dive into things. I feel like I was really close to burnout, and I don't want to start the year burning myself out, if that makes sense. And so I asked you guys to, and I'm still asking you guys, if you want to post in the Facebook group like your top 5 favorite books that you'd want to, or not favorite, top 5 books that you'd like to go over in 2019, or if not books, then like subject matter that you'd like to go over in 2019. And a ton of people have been doing this, and I have a whole list of the books to look into for 2019. I will tell you that there are 2 books that we will for sure be going over, but it will not be the first book of 2019. So the book that we will for sure be going over, just so you guys know, is, this is like the manuscript of it. This is Melissa Sanova's Tarot Elements, 5 Readings to Reset Your Life. This book does not come out until, I think, March. So we'll probably be doing this book in April. So just so you know, that is one of the books that we will be reading in 2019 is Tarot Elements by Melissa Sanova. And I have a first preview, and I haven't really gotten to dive into this yet, but I have it out because I'm ready to. So that will definitely be one of our books we read in 2018. We read Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa. She's the best. She was really interactive with Witchy Facebook, which was really awesome. And also, the book is just kick-ass. So I'm sure that she's going to knock this one out of the park. And I'm really, really excited for that. So we will be reading that one probably within the next few months. I'm going to say, since the book, I think, comes out in March, I'd like to do it in April just so it gives some people some time. So you can purchase it when it comes out, but then, you know, we'll prepare for April to dive into that. Another one that I'm like 90% sure we will be doing, which this is another one people put up for option. I just want to look through it a bit more. And this is Practical Color Magic by Raymond Buckland. We have not covered any Raymond Buckland books yet in Witchy Book Club, and he's kind of an important one. So this is something that I picked up for myself in personal reading because I'm designing a color workshop, color magic workshop that will be hopefully available also in the spring. So that's why I don't really want to dive into this yet for Witchy Book Club, but I am hoping that whenever I can release this workshop, that's the month that we can dive into a book like this. So we can simultaneously, if you want to, you know, journey in with the workshop, you can purchase the workshop, and then we'll also be going over this book, kind of doing this whole big color magic thing sometime in the spring, maybe early summer is where that will be. So this will probably be maybe May that we'll be going over this. So those 2 books I can tell you for sure if you want to like look into. You can pre-order Melissa's book, or you can kind of put the Practical Color Magic on your wish list and kind of maybe go to your local library to scout out if your library has that book, so when it comes time you know where to get it or when to like put it on hold. Those ones for sure we will be diving into for 2019. Now, another one that I want to talk about is Murphy Hiscock's The Witch's Book of Self-Care, and also The House Witch. Now, we started our Witchy Book Club on The Green Witch by Murphy Hiscock, and I really enjoyed that for our intro book. There's been a lot of videos that have surfaced after we did that book about how horrible the book is. And while I do think that people that have made, you know, videos about that, or the reviews that I've seen from that book, I do feel like I get. I think that these sorts of books are really good for our book club because there's so many people that are coming from such a new standpoint to magic and energy work and just even thinking about living a more self-aware life, that these books are really great. Now, for those of us who are like really in depth with things, this is very basic. This is very almost like child's play. So I'm torn because I just, it's so hard for me to pick books that I know that everyone's gonna want to read. But when I wrote down what you guys were suggesting in the Facebook group, there were 4 people that put the Witch's Book of Self-Care on their wish list, and like 3 people that put The House Witch, which is by the same author. So there is a very good possibility. I already have The House Witch, which means I would very much like to do this one since I already have it, but it's fine if everybody wants to do the self-care one. I can totally do that as well. But I'm a little apprehensive because you all seem like you want to do that one, but then there's been such negative reviews and feelings on this author in the books that they create, and so I'm torn. But I think, honestly, that starting off, because we have this new year mindset and this depth year mindset going around in the community, that journeying in with a subject matter about your home or self-care is a really great place to start. So I think I'm going to be putting that up in the Facebook group in like a poll. I'll probably pick my top 3 or 4 choices for the book for February starting, and I think that either the House Witch or the self-care book or both will be one of the options, and it looks like that's the one that you guys are going to pick because everybody's suggesting it. So I'm just throwing that out there. And we will be doing another fiction book in 2019. I don't know which one yet. I would love, 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 love to pick The Mists of Avalon. Like, I would absolutely love for this to be one of our books, but it's big. I don't know if we're ready for that. I don't know if this is something that we want to actually invest in. It's like 700 some pages. It's 868 pages. I don't know if we're ready for this. It will be something that I really do want to read for myself in 2019. I'd love for this to be one, but I just don't know if it's too big because it's a lot. So that's one that I would love to suggest, but I don't know if that one's gonna make it. With that, there is a lot of you who seem like you're shuffling out, who are leaving right now, and that's totally cool. I actually have so much that I want to get done. I have my client reading to do, and now I just have another reading that I could do today if I can fit both of them in energetically with what's going on. But if you guys don't have any other questions or any other thing that you want me to talk about, I am gonna kind of wrap this live stream up and keep this under an hour and a half today. Woo! I just really want to say thank you to everyone. We created Witchy Book Club in 2018. We created it, I think, in the spring, and it has grown so much. It has become something that I enjoy so much. It's a lot of work, ton of work for me, but it's so fulfilling. It's really helped me grow my channel, helped me grow my confidence, helped me grow like this really wonderful community of people that I've become so close with. You guys are hilarious. You're so smart. You're so smart. And I love hearing your thoughts and your interactions to books and to topics every single week. It's really brought me so much joy, and I am so grateful. Because I know a big portion of my channel growing this year was from Witchy Book Club or people hearing about me from things like that, and I'm just really grateful. And I don't want this to come from a place of bragging. I just want us to put this in perspective of what's happened this past year for me. The beginning of January, I was celebrating 1,000 subscribers. So I had finally worked so hard after so many years to build like my channel up and to have 1,000 subscribers, and I finally hit that. I had a daily vlog channel that I had for like over 2 years, and then I created this channel, and in the beginning of 2018 I finally hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm closing 2019 approaching 4,000 subscribers. Like, that is insane to me, and I'm so grateful. at the opportunities that I've been able to have from all of this, and I can't wait to see, you know, what happens in 2019 and all the wonderful things that are going to come of it and all the new people I can meet. I'm just really, really, really grateful. Don't know what's going on with my computer, but anyways. So, if you guys want to put your suggestions up, thank you so much. You're a Kiki. You're so sweet. I really, really loved connecting with everybody. I genuinely mean that. Like, I've worked so hard to create a community, and I finally feel like this is where it's happening. And I'm so grateful. So if you guys want to put your 2 cents in and you want to come and join the Facebook group, if you haven't already, put up the books that you'd want to read or the topics that you're interested in diving into 2019. We haven't officially picked our book. It looks like you guys are going to want to be voting towards one of these books, but I will just make sure that that's where we're all at in the Facebook group. And I love that I was seeing some people saying that one of their resolutions for the year was to participate in every single book, which is so cool that, like, this is even on people's resolutions. That's so cool. Again, my little promo to end. If anybody has been wanting a reading from me or is looking for some insight or wants to get a tarot or oracle reading, you can go to my website, which is samanthamenzo.com, and until January 7th, I'm giving everybody 18% off to close out 2018. You can use the promo code NYE2018. I will link it down below, but it will only be good until January 7th. So if you're watching the playback of this and it's after January 7th, unfortunately that promo code won't be good anymore. But if you're watching it before then, you can head over to my website and purchase a reading. Any of the readings on there will be good for 18% off until January 7th, because I'm really grateful and I am almost all caught up. Well, I was caught up, but now some people purchased readings, so I'm really excited about that. And just to say thank you to all of you who have supported me. If you guys want to contribute at all to the time, you can find my PayPal down below, or you can just share one of these videos. It's really helpful to us and our community to help it grow. I love you all so freaking much. And even though I'm wrapping this up and keeping it real short, I'm really, really excited to see what 2019 brings. Feel free to contact me anyway. I can't wait to see you guys next year. How stupid. I'll go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, magical rest of the year. And I'll see you next time. Bye!